Long before humans built farms, tiny insects under the jungle were already growing their own food. Leafcutter ants are not simple leaf collectors. They are farmers, builders, cleaners, soldiers, and caretakers inside one of nature's most organized societies. A leafcutter ant colony can look like a moving river of green. Workers march through the forest carrying leaf pieces much larger than their bodies, turning the ground into a living trail of cut leaves, antennae, and constant motion. The surprising truth is that most leafcutter ants do not eat those leaves directly. The leaves are raw material for something hidden underground, a cultivated fungus that becomes the colony's main food source. When a worker cuts a leaf, its mandibles work like tiny blades. Each bite removes a section of plant tissue, and the ant balances that piece above its body like a green sail as it joins the trail back to the nest. Carrying oversized leaves is not random strength, it is logistics. Different workers cut, carry, trim, and deliver plant material, so the colony moves food for its fungus with the efficiency of a living supply chain. Near the nest entrance, the forest floor changes. Lines of workers disappear into tunnels. Leaf fragments vanish below the soil, and the real center of the colony begins where sunlight no longer reaches. Underground, the nest is not a simple hole. It is a living city with entrances, tunnels, ventilation paths, waste chambers, nurseries, guard zones, and fungus gardens arranged like hidden rooms beneath the jungle. The fungus gardens are the heart of this city. Workers chew leaf pieces into pulp, add droplets and enzymes, and place the material where their cultivated fungus can grow across it like a delicate pale crop. That fungus is the food the colony depends on. The ants feed on specialized fungal structures, and their larvae rely heavily on this garden, making the colony's survival tied to the health of a crop it cannot replace. Inside the nest, the smallest workers become careful gardeners. They inspect the fungus, remove unwanted particles, adjust the leaf pulp, and keep the garden clean enough for the cultivated strain to dominate. Other workers move through the tunnels as transporters and builders. They carry leaves inward, move soil outward, repair walls, and keep the nest functioning as thousands or even millions of bodies move through it. Larger soldiers guard the colony. With powerful heads and jaws, they stand near entrances and trails, ready to confront intruders that threaten workers, gardens, larvae, or the queen deep below. The queen is the biological center of the colony. She can live for many years, producing eggs that become the workers, soldiers, and future reproductive ants that keep the colony expanding. A new colony begins when a young queen leaves her birth nest during a mating flight. She carries a tiny piece of fungus with her, like a living starter culture, because without that fungus her future colony cannot farm. After landing, the queen seals herself underground and begins alone. She lays eggs, tends the first fungus garden, and raises the first workers that will eventually take over the cutting, cleaning, and feeding work. Leafcutter agriculture is fragile. The fungus garden can be attacked by disease, molds, and competing microbes. So the ants constantly patrol it, removing contamination before it spreads. Some leafcutter ants also carry helpful bacteria on their bodies. These microbes can produce chemicals that help suppress garden parasites, turning the colony into a partnership between ants, fungus, and bacteria. This is why leafcutter ants are often compared to human farmers. They gather plant material, prepare a growing medium, cultivate a crop, weed out invaders, manage waste, and defend the entire food system. Their waste management is part of that success. Old fungus, contaminated material, and refuse are moved away from healthy gardens, sometimes into special dump chambers, so disease does not flow back into the crop. Above ground, the colony changes the forest around it. Trails become clear paths, leaves are harvested from many plants, and the soil near large nests can be turned and enriched by constant excavation. Leafcutter ants are powerful herbivores, but their effect is more complex than damage. By pruning vegetation, moving nutrients, and reshaping soil, they help influence how the rainforest grows and recycles matter. Their trails also reveal intelligence without a central commander. No single ant understands the whole city, yet simple signals, scent trails, and repeated jobs allow the colony to behave like a coordinated organism. Every role matters. Cutters bring leaves, carriers move cargo, gardeners feed the fungus, cleaners protect it, soldiers defend the traffic, and the queen supplies the next generation. Seen from above, the trail is only a line of green fragments. Seen from inside, it is the surface expression of an underground civilization built around farming, hygiene, labor, and survival. What makes leafcutter ants astonishing is not just their strength. It is that their society depends on another organism, a fungus that they cultivate so carefully that the colony and crop have evolved together. That relationship is ancient. Long before plows, fields, and human villages, these ants had already discovered a form of agriculture beneath the rainforest floor. Their world is tiny, but the system is vast. Forests feeding leaves to ants feeding leaves to fungus feeding larvae and workers, and the colony changing the forest in return. Leafcutter ants remind us that intelligence in nature does not always look like a brain solving a problem. Sometimes it looks like thousands of small bodies building a farm, protecting a crop, and keeping a hidden city alive. Under the jungle, the leafcutter colony is part factory, part garden, part fortress, and part family. Each leaf carried into darkness becomes one more piece of a farming system older than human civilization. So when a line of ants passes with green leaves above their heads, it is not just a parade of insects. It is the visible edge of a secret agricultural empire, growing quietly beneath the forest. The rainforest above them is loud, wet, and alive, but below the roots another world is working. In that darkness, tiny farmers tend their crop, guard their queen, and build one of nature's most remarkable civilizations. And that is the wonder of leafcutter ants. They are small enough to vanish under a leaf, yet organized enough to farm, defend, clean, build, and reshape the forest around them.